What is good, ladies and gents? So, we are out here today. We are going around doing some of our do that we were talking about. So, we have got various different bits and pieces. Now we look like someone who works in a forestry commission or something along those lines anyway. So we're going to go and look for some places where we can stick some plants out. Now, initially I came down here, I don't know, some years ago now, I guess, and I even cut paths through here and whatever. Not in this specific place, right where we are right now, but a bit further on down, which is where actually I'm going to go and see what we can find. I like all in here. It looks nice now, but this will all be under a canopy soon enough, and all of this will be completely shaded down here, so it's basically useless. You can kind of get a, you can kind of tell a little bit anyway. You can tell a little bit anyway by the fact that there's nothing really growing down here other than the trees. So you can see that again, like this. The nettles aren't up very high, so it clearly doesn't get very much sun. Not when the canopy's up anyway. So hopefully we won't encounter anyone, but we will see. We will see. This is actually a tree farm, so you can see all the way, and all of that is a tree farm. Right, so I need to go with gloves in here. Pull this crap out of the way and get through it. I mean, sorry about all the waving of the camera about the place. Right, so I get our way through all the hawthorn and shit. I didn't bring cutters with me. Silly idea, really. Fucking hawthorn just cuts. Ouch. Anyway, so you can, if you can see down there, there's a pot down there where obviously someone has previously. I found a couple of pots down here before, to be honest with you. Right. There we go. It's obviously from some time ago. And clawed up by one of the shit. All the adventures. All the adventures. 100% going to be bleeding from this. Why didn't I bring my cutters with me? Fucker. Really hurt. Okay, so got deer poo, that's fresh. And these are quite clearly like animal tracks and shit, so basically the climb, go all the way down there, all the way up there, and through the top up there is like an open field. However, there are numerous patches in here which should be probably quite good. And to be honest with you, should be fairly-ish secluded. Obviously, there's a risk of stuff coming and eating it all. Fencing has got stupid expensive, man. Like, I bought for a couple of years ago, the fencing that I bought cost me, I think it was like $18.99 or something like that. And now the same fencing costs like over 30 quid. So, I mean, it's a lot of money. I can see deers up there as well wandering around. So fencing probably will be required. But I don't know. We can try it and we can see. We can try it and we can see whether or not it's worth going all the way up there. I don't know, because everything's overgrown. I haven't got cutters with me, so I might have to come back here with cutters to do some more kind of exploratory thing. But let's do a little soil test here. Let's see how difficult this drill is going to be to use. It looks something like this. It's a bit hard to do with one hand, but it's entirely possible. And all the soil's nice and loose. And I bet if I was obviously wasn't using one hand, that would be a shit ton easier. Could actually could there's a big old chunk of a stone in there, and an absolute bastard if you so that there in what, a few seconds was a hole. So yeah. What can I say? So for a couple of seconds, we now have a hole. So I probably wouldn't suggest doing this with one hand. I mean, it will do it, but yeah, there's a big old tree root right there. Big old tree roots and shit in here, but it still handles it. Still goes through it pretty easily without any real concerns. So right, so that's 15 holes there, and that's taken me all of maybe about 10 minutes. So we'll carry on and we'll go to another site and we'll test it out there and see what we can do. Right, so in a bit. Right, here we are. In another area. So we've driven a fair way away from the last one. This is nowhere nearby. Again, there's somewhere I've come to look at previously. Obviously, all of this is still yet to get all covered over. And I can't recall exactly where is some there's some big tall bits in here. This is a stinger, and this comes up to, I don't know, about 4 foot. This one here is about 5 foot, or was about 5 foot. So what are we looking at here? Looking at grass, stinging nettles, bluebells, other grass. Like clumpy grass, and there's a deer wandering around over there. I may have found something. That could be exceptionally useful to me, or an absolute pain in the arse. As I was mentioning fencing earlier, here's a bunch of zinc fence. Come a little Joe. It's a pretty deep hole, and I can just extend this out. It's clay. It's very unfriendly to dig in. Right, let's go to number 4. Now at an old site. I've been up here looking at it, thinking about it. So this is about roughly how big it is. Not particularly great, but this was one of the very first locations that I started growing in. So I was just having like a little look, and obviously everything's exposed at the moment, so you can see where I've just the soil from years gone by that I left here. Oh, it's clay. It just wants to go in like a screw, and that's obviously a bit of a problem. See, like that shit right there, where it's like, then they're gonna fucking rip my hand off. It's meant to not do that. For fuck's sake. There is a handle that comes with it to aid in this. Yeah, I mean it's like gravel. It's kind of what it's like. So that's why it was such a pain in the arse to try and dig through it. So it was just gravel. Yeah, the soil looks pretty healthy. I mean, like, it's gravelly and shit, but there is worms in it. Yeah, I think this could work. I think this could work quite well. So 1, 2, 3, you get about a foot in between each plant, which would be enough for me to be able to walk through without screwing them up too much. The soil is pretty nice and damp when it gets a bit further in. It's got worms in it, so it should be alright. Should be good. We'll might come down here and do some improvement works, chop some bits and pieces out and whatever, and yeah, see how it goes from there. Anyway, so what have we done? We have discovered 4 sites that are going to be acceptable for our purposes. One of them is a bit clay. We've got fencing now that we found, so that's pretty sweet. I noticed that the fencing in one of my other places still appears to be there. I mean, it looks so obvious now, but when the bracken had all grown up, like, no one would have been able to see anything. So yes, this has worked out to be quite nice. So hopefully, with any luck anyway, I shouldn't fuck my back doing this. I might break my wrist doing it. I very well might break my wrist doing this, but that's because this thing doesn't do what it says it does. I mean, it's a turbo drill. I'm not gonna doubt that it's a turbo drill. I just not so keen on the fact that it says it can do something and then doesn't do it. So, and I've kind of like, I've been being real careful with what I'm doing. And even then, by being careful, it still's wrenched my wrist around a couple of times. So obviously, if you were thinking about possibly growing some old cannabis down here, because that's what this is, and just there and there, I think that might be not. There's another old remnant of a twig there from harvest time, years gone by. That was some board I got when all fucked up. So anyway, I think this has been a successful day. I found a good few bits and pieces. I won't carry on drilling. I was just testing this ore to see what it was like, to know whether or not it'd be worthwhile. And I think even with the clay area, yeah, it might be an absolute pain in the arse to dig into. They might do okay, they might not. All we can do is try and see what happens. And if I can, leave one or two of the sites for seeds, then all good for generation 5. I still have so many Gen 4s that even if I don't get any seeds, I'll be able to try it again. But I really need to find a nice location for breeding these heirloom seeds and landrace seeds, because I really want to have a stockpile of each of those strains, and I don't want them to get nicked. I need them to get all the way through to finishing and holding some fully formed beautiful seeds, which should make me up like, I don't know, maybe about 500 grams worth of seeds or something like that from one plant. So it's not that. So honestly, it's not that unrealistic to get about 500 grams of seeds off a nice plant. So obviously at £15 a seed, the bag there is worth more than £1 million. So anyway, but yeah, so right, that's our dues for today. I need to go back and sort some stuff out and upload this and do whatever. So until next time, ladies and gents, it's UK Field Ninja. See you all in the next one.